Time now for Talk of the Town. I'm with Nick Rothschild and Brady King, and of course we're talking Broncos and Bengals on Monday Night Football. But let's not talk about all the, oh my gosh, I dreamed of playing on Monday Night Football. All the pomp and circumstance and the bright lights. Let's talk about what happens when the ball is kicked off. All right. I said this last week, Nick. It's a must-win for the Broncos. They cannot lose this game as 8.5-point favorites at home. Drop to 1-3 on the year on a 3-game losing streak. They just can't do that. They can't end September with a worse record than they had last year.
Well, when Bo Nix was asked about the Bengals defense, and basically his answer was, oh, shucks, any given Sunday, anybody can play well. It tells you what they think of this opponent they're playing. Of course, you got to respect everybody in the NFL. These guys are professional football players too, but this is a perfect storm for the Denver Broncos. There is no reason, there is no unit, there are no mismatches that the Bengals can exploit. This should be a beatdown, and that's fully what I expect.
Coming off the 2 losses that they just suffered, I mean, last-second field goal losses. Last season, when they lost 2 in a row, they came back and won 3 straight. Bo Nix was on fire. So I know that doesn't necessarily translate to this season, but this is a team that I think is very focused, very fired up, and they're going against a team that they should beat.
All right, let's talk X's and O's and numbers here. Bengals are 2-1. Jake Browning is their quarterback now. Joe Burrow is injured. They lost to the Vikings 48-10 last week. Browning sacked 3 times, was picked off twice, 140 yards passing, a rating of 63.8. They held him to 53 yards rushing. Nick, this, as you said, it's kind of the perfect storm, the best-case scenario for the Broncos' number 1 rated pass rush to get in Jake Browning's face and make life miserable for him and the Bengals all night long.
That loss to the Vikings was the worst in franchise history.
Oh.
A Bengals
all right, well, yeah, let me add that to
the Bengals are not exactly like the New England Patriots here. They've had a lot of bad losses, so that kind of tells you that was futility on display by the Bengals. And to be honest, Lionel, I'm not worried about the Broncos defense. I have no question about whether or not they are actually good. We need to see the offense start to get clicking a little bit, and the defense for the Bengals is absolutely terrible. And one place I'd like to see them exploit Cincinnati is using Evan Ingram at tight end. Cincinnati is the 3rd worst team in the league defending the tight end. Last week, as you mentioned, against the Vikings, they gave up 6 receptions, over 60 yards, and 2 touchdowns to the tight end. So I think that, Ingram's been banged up a little early this year. I know they spent a lot of money to go get them. I think this is the week, actually. He gets right, gets on the board, and has a big game.
And Sean Payton also said that they haven't really established an identity yet. Yeah. They're looking for that. I think this is the week you pound the ball, Dobbins, Harvey, boom. Just keep going. Take the pressure off Bo Nix and establish your identity in this game on Monday night.
Yeah, I think they have to. Mike McGlinchey also said, they don't really have a direction exactly. They need to see what they can do in this game. I think another big area that they are focused on, I'm not so much worried about the Broncos losing to the Bengals. I'm worried about them beating themselves within penalties. They had 6 penalties in week 1, 8 penalties in week 2, 10 penalties last week for 90 yards. So I think that's an area all week in practice. The guys really emphasized focusing on that. They can't have the pre-snap penalties. Of course, other things are going to happen, but I think cleaning up that area will be huge this week.
You mentioned McGlinchey. The Broncos' offensive line has not played well so far this season, but minus Trey Hendrickson, this Bengals front isn't great. Their first-round pick, Shamar Stewart, is out with an injury. They only have 6 sacks through the first 3 games, so I think this might be a get-right game for those Hogs up front, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6 sacks on the season, also 19th in rush defense. This is it. This is the week the Broncos bust out. So, predictions, 8.5-point favorites. Broncos on Monday night on Denver 7. I'm saying they win this game by 10, 27-17. Establish the run. They're 2-2 and right in the mix in the AFC West.
I like them by 2 touchdowns. I don't know that the Broncos are going to score like 40 points, so maybe 28-14, somewhere in that range. I think the offense looks a little bit better. I'm still expecting some missteps, but I just don't see the Bengals having much success on offense.
I'm thinking this will finally be the game where they put it all together. The defense should be able to contain Jake Browning in this Bengals offense, and I think Bo Nix slowly but surely is finding his footing, so I'm going 31-10. Broncos
nice.
handle this on Monday Night Football on Denver 7. We need it.
Yeah, all right. 21-point win for Brady. 14-point win, 10-point win. We all picked for the Broncos to cover. All right, it's time for a break here, but when we come back, oh my gosh, it was a painful weekend. I mean painful, watching the Rams and the Buffs play at Folsom Field and at Campbell Stadium. We'll have that story coming up next right here on Denver 7 Sports.